In almost all cases, our future is based upon our decisions and decisions that we do or don't make. And the problem is how do we remove the bad decisions, the bad habits, and replace them with the good ones? Because deep down, you and I both know the things we should be doing, right? We know we should be working out. We know we should be working more effectively. We know we should be eating better. Like we know all these things. It's just the question is, how do we get there? And I'm going to break this down with you literally step by step by step, and I'm going to give you something that sticks because it's worked for me. So the first thing I need you to understand is why do we do the bad things, right? Because every man has their vices. You know, for some people it might be drinking, it might be going out, it might be, what's a good one? It might be porn. Whatever it is, the problem is it doesn't feel like we have power over these decisions, like they just happen. It's subconscious. We don't have the control over it. And the reason that we do these things is to change our state. And picture it like this. If you go out on a weekend, right, you get fucked up on a Saturday, you wake up the next day, you feel like shit, right? You're hungover, right? Your state sucks. So because of that, you're probably gonna wake up later. You're probably not gonna work out. You're probably gonna eat shitty, right? You're gonna have caffeine super late in the day, and then you're not gonna sleep good, and then you rinse and repeat, right? So the reason we do the bad things is to change our state, and the problem is most of the time, it's cheap thrills, right? It's the cheap shit. It's the scrolling through Instagram. You know, it's the porn. It's just watching meaningless shit for hours, just wasting your fucking existence. That's the cheap thrills, right? And there's other ways to change our state. We know this, right? We could have ran. We could have went for a walk. We could have went to the gym. It's just the question is how do we get from doing the things we are now to doing the things that we want to do? You know, the things that we should do, I should say, to increase performance. And I want to break it down like this. The best way to remove bad habits is to not be in a bad state from the start, to make your state rock solid. And one of the best ways that I've found to do that is A, good sleep. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. But the question is information necessarily isn't your problem. And here's what I mean. You know how to get good sleep. You do, right? You don't go on your phone late at night, right? You have a routine. Your room's dark. The room's cooler. You know all these things. It's just the question is why aren't you doing them? And I want to give you a good example. It's the first day of school, right? You're in like 6th grade, right? You and your parents, you went shopping. You got your first day of school outfit. How pumped were you to go to school that day? You were fucking stoked. And the thing was, is you're not a big fan of school, but you were excited. There was a motivation there. And I want to break it down like this. Apply it to where you are now. Right? Maybe you got a new pair of running shoes. Maybe you got, you know, a new outfit for the gym. Just think of an example like that, right? Where you were invested in something from a financial standpoint. You were more inclined to justify that purchase, right? Like you wanted to see it through. You wanted to make sure it actually got used, at least off the rip. And here's the thing is think of good habits like a plane. We just need to get it off the ground. Like that's it. And then human nature takes over and it becomes habitual, right? So the question is, how do we just get the plane off the runway? And I want you to picture it like this. When I've struggled with poor sleep for the past 3 years. And then recently something changed. So for instance, I still got this watch on. It's a Coros watch, it's for running, right? And the thing I noticed is on this watch, I can track my sleep, right? And the thing I noticed is I've always known like the things I should do for sleep, right? I should take my magnesium glycinate. I shouldn't eat too close before bed. You know, my room should be dark. It should be cooler. I should journal. Like I knew all these things. The question is I never did them. That was my problem, right? But the thing I noticed is when I got this watch, I was invested in sleep now from a financial standpoint. And the thing I noticed too is because of that, I was tracking my sleep more. I was doing the things subconsciously, and now it's to the point where I actually have a sleep routine, so to speak, that I follow habitually. I'm gonna give you another example with work. I had a problem with actually focusing and doing deep work and not checking my phone. So I got a standing desk. I got a walk pad for underneath my desk, and I noticed I use these things more. I wanted to justify the purchase, and I actually put them to use. Earlier this year, I got a pair of running shoes, right? And I wanted to see those shoes actually get put to work. What did I do? I ran a half marathon within the week of owning them. When I first got my watch, I was running back home in Wisconsin, and it was like 22 degrees out. The point of what I'm saying is that one of the best ways to ensure you will follow through, that you actually apply the things you do, is to actually invest in them from a financial standpoint. I'm telling you, like if you spent money on an Oura ring, a Whoop, a watch, whatever it is, I guarantee you'd be more motivated to actually apply the good habits of sleep. It's the same thing with anything else. If it's work, maybe it's getting a new desk, maybe it's getting a new monitor, a new Mac, whatever it is. It's the same story with this. These are investments, so to speak, and they're not viewed in that light, in which I think they should be. Like I remember I had a buddy, he was struggling with trading. He's a day trader. And he was struggling with actually, applying himself, staying disciplined and all these things. And one of the first things I told him is I was like, dude, you should get a coach. 100%. You should literally invest in it. And the reason being is you are emotionally attached to it. It's so fucking important. Like you're trying to raw dog this shit, dude. Like just off will and motivation alone, like add another layer to the onion, so to speak. And sometimes that comes from a financial standpoint. So one of the best ways to start a new habit, in my experience, is it starts with the purchase. It really does. Maybe it's that, that new pair of gym shoes, new pair of running shoes, a watch, a ring to track sleep, a new desk, whatever it is. Like look at the gaps in your life where you could be increasing performance and apply money there. Because now there's not only this motivation to improve, but now there's a financial aspect. You're invested in it. It's going to make you get more out of it. So as always, I hope you're rock solid, you're committed, you're focused. And another thing I wanted to do too is I want to start to work more with you guys, like one-on-one. So over the next, I don't know, I'd say 2 weeks here, bring on 3 people, as far as working with them one-on-one goes, and scale and grind it out, take them from good to great. So as always, guys, fucking crush it. Keep your head up, stay strong. You got this shit.